Well, hello there, Michael.
Morning, Edward. We're a different schedule this week. We've still got the guys here in the office. We've got a full house today.
A little life around here.
Yeah, a little action.
So, how are you? Where were we?
Where were we?
I'm assuming there's going to be thousands of people binge watching and listening to the show.
You're going to pick up right where we left off.
Where did we leave off? Roy's pants.
I located Roy's pants, laid flat on the bar, wallet in place, cell phone in place. It was a miracle.
Yeah.
Maybe you got any good pants stories?
You know what? I do.
Is that right?
I got a few good pants stories.
If I was a gambling man, I would have said you had some pants stories.
You know, this guy walks into the doctor's and he says to the doctor, I think I have a hereditary disease. And the doctor goes, go ahead. And he says, what is it? And he goes, well, I've got really bad diarrhea. And the doctor goes, I don't think that's hereditary. And the guy goes, but it's in my genes.
Mm-hmm. Proctologist walks into the bank and he goes to sign the back of a check and he pulls out an anal probe.
Huh.
And he says, some asshole has my pen.
Anyway, so this is a story that is somewhat recent, you know.
Oh, we need to change names to
we're
protect
gonna
the innocent here.
We're going to keep the innocent protected here. I also promised this person that I would never tell of this story, which that lasted about 2 hours before I told all the people that were sitting at the table at the golf club. But anyway, one of my good friends and I were driving up to North Georgia to play golf. I was driving. He was in the passenger seat. He gets into my car. I picked him up with a 12-pack of Trulies. And this is when Trulies were like cutting edge, new. I was like, what are those? Oh, they're Trulies. They're great. We're driving up I-75 North, and he's crushing Trulies. I may or may not have had one. I was driving.
You did not?
Did not have one.
No.
He had 8 in probably 30, 40-minute
That's how those
I think
work,
he was
man.
having a rough week at work. It was a Friday. We're going to go play golf. Everyone's excited. Go meet the boys at the golf course. He's crushing Trulies, okay? And we hit a little bit of traffic. There was a big wreck on the interstate, and it's bumper to bumper. And he goes, Eddie, I've really got to piss. And I go, well, what do you want me to do? You know, the exit's like a mile away. Can you hang on? Yeah, I can hang on. There's like 5 lanes of traffic. So I'm like, we can pull over here. Everyone's going to see it. No, I'll be fine. And we're just nudging along. He's like, Eddie, I really, really have to piss. I'm like, I know. What do you want me to do? And anyway, we get to the exit eventually, like 15 minutes later. We pull off. And usually there's a gas station right there or a Waffle House or something. This particular exit had nothing. And so I had to drive a little bit further just to go find some privacy. And next thing I know is pissing all over my car. I think he'd already whipped it out just to save some time. And it was all over the dashboard, all over the windshield, all over the radio, everywhere. And I just remember I looked over at him and he looked at me with just these eyes. I couldn't do anything about it. Anyway.
As he's going. I've never made eye contact with a man as he was urinating.
I mean, just a fountain, right? I'm like, ah! Anyway, so eventually pull over. He gets out. He's got khakis on. I mean, they're completely soaked. Obviously, my car's completely soaked.
Oh, my God.
I go to the back. I go to the trunk.
Disgusting.
I grab my golf towel, clean up the piss the best I can. And, you know, now we've got another 30 minutes to go. And his trousers are completely soaked. I mean, they're khakis, but they're now sort of dark.
Yeah, the trip to the golf course, you rarely pack a spare pair.
You generally don't. Anyway, so he says, what are we going to do? Oh, I don't know, man. You're kind of fucked. And then he has a great idea. So he takes off his pants. We open the passenger window. He kind of wedges his pants in the window. We do the window up. So they're now wedged, you know, about 2 inches inside the car. The rest of the pants are outside the car. I then get back on the interstate, 80 miles an hour.
You blow dry them.
Blow dry them, right? And So they're just flapping on the side
It's
of my
still
car.
so disgusting. Now he's got dried piss all over his
Yeah,
pants.
better than wet piss probably, though.
Yeah, I guess.
At least optics, right? And we're 15 minutes up the road. He's sitting there in his boxer shorts, and he all of a sudden he goes, "Fuck, my wallet!" So we pull over again, and believe it or not, his wallet was still in the back pocket.
Those are good pants.
And
I gotta get a pair of them.
Anyway, he puts his pants back on, bone dry. I mean, they may have had an odor. I didn't get close enough to check. And
At that point, you were nose blind. You'd been smelling the same odor for 15 minutes.
yeah,
in the
but
car.
it was, it was mostly Truly.
That's true.
Anyway, he goes, "Eddie, please don't tell anyone about this." I was like, "No, I understand. I understand." And then go into the clubhouse. Everyone's sitting down having lunch, and I just had a smirk on my face, and they got it out of me. They got the story out of me in about 36 seconds. So anyway,
he probably won't listen to this. So the secret is safe here. We 1 year, it was fairly early in my career.
You have a career?
Well, fairly early in my working life, fairly early in my post-college life, and it was Labor Day weekend, and me and my buddy Justin Carnes.
Justin Carnes and I is the correct English.
And I said my buddy Justin Carnes and I, and Old Man Worcester.
Me, myself, and I.
We took a canoe trip down some river in northwest Arkansas, and it was the three of us guys, and it was Justin's fiance at the time, who he's married to now, and it was two of her friends, right? So it was 3 guys, 3 girls, and Justin and the girls went down there on like Thursday night. Me and John worked on Friday, stopped and grabbed a bunch of cases of Miller High Life and threw the cooler in Kansas City and drove down. And as we were going down to Noel, Missouri, so it wasn't Arkansas, it was Noel, Missouri, but it's Northwest Arkansas. Eagle was the radio station, the classic rock of Northwest Arkansas. As we were driving down, we were saying just these terribly offensive, vulgar things to each other. And we started keeping score, who could say like the worst thing, right? And it didn't stop when we got there with these 3 girls. We knew Justin's fiance, but we didn't know the other 2 girls. And so this entire 4-day weekend, we are just one-upping each other with terribly vulgar, offensive, inappropriate. Like if I said or heard any of the things that were said that weekend now, I'd be, oh God, I have a daughter. Don't fucking say that, But at the time, we were probably at a low point in life, and it was humorous to us. So we go through Friday night saying horrible things, and these girls think that we are just the worst people on the face of the earth.
Good judge of character.
All day Saturday, just and he'd say something terrible like, oh, 2 points. We're giving each other points back and forth, right? And Sunday was the day we were actually going to float down the river, and we have fun, and at this point, me and John were tied. It was like 42-42, right? It was just
Who's the biggest arsehole?
Yeah, who's the worst human being on this river right now? And we're floating down the river, and it's a guy and a girl in each canoe, and we're floating, and it was fun, and you get cooler in each canoe. And then we pull off into the side in a little swimming area, and everyone's swimming around, and then after swimming for a little bit, we go up onto the bank, and you have to watch this video, but so John is standing with 1 foot in the water, and then the other one up on the canoe, right, facing the bank.
Captain Morgan.
Yeah, Captain Morgan, right? He's got the Captain Morgan pose, and everyone else is in front of him, and we're all sitting there facing him, and I'm the farthest away from him, right? And he's telling a story which was absolutely irrelevant at the moment. He's talking about like American history or something, right? And he's telling a story about the history of Northwest Arkansas or some shit, right? And he's sitting straight face and he's talking. And as he's talking, I see out of the bottom of his pant leg, his shorts, a stream of urine start flowing out of the bottom of his pant leg. And I saw it first, and I just fell over. I'm like, it's over! You win! It's over! Just stop! And a grown man
Drop the mic.
He stood there and urinated himself in front of a bunch of people that he barely knew, just to prove that he was a worse human being than I. And so for that reason, he has always been my hero. So
that's a very nice story.
Johnny Worster, amazing, absolutely amazing, a legend, old man Worster.
I feel like we need to upgrade our talking points. We've covered poop and pee fairly extenstively.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if we have any. I don't
But
have any on
we'll
my
probably
list.
go back at some point.
Yeah.
Like
It's always
maybe
good.
today.
Always good to revisit.
Yeah.
So what else is going on this week? So we got the caucuses and the primaries. You follow any of the politics?
Not at all.
It sucks. I see the memes on Instagram, and they're kind of funny.
Sure.
I've really not much interest in that.
I think all politicians are arseholes. Maybe not. I think 90% of them are arseholes. And they all have second and third agendas. And maybe 10% of them are actually really trying to help out and do some good stuff. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
In London, probably 4 or 5 years ago, it was funny. The houses of Commons or whatever. I've forgotten what it's called now. The Parliament, House of Commons. Yeah, House of Commons. They already had a 6-week summer vacation, and they all got together to have a vote to see whether they should extend that 6-week summer vacation to 8 weeks paid.
Man.
And surprisingly,
how do you vote on that one?
unanimously, they agreed that they should bump it to 8 weeks. Like 98% of them said that's a good idea. So my dad has a little saying that turkeys don't usually vote for Christmas or Thanksgiving, if you want to.
Thanksgiving here in the States,
Yeah. People, a lot of these politicians are all in it for their best interest. Funnily enough, I just paid my taxes here in Georgia. Apparently, if I pay, instead of paying Georgia my taxes, my accountant told me, we're going to buy you some film credits for Tyler Perry's production studio.
Oh.
And if you do that, then you only pay 89 cents on the dollar. So I did that.
So you're a movie producer now.
Yeah, essentially.
Can you do something about those Medea movies?
Phantom.
The dude dressing up as the guy. I think that's so 1980. Can we do something about Medea now?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's Tyler Perry's character.
I've never seen it.
No, I haven't either. My wife watches it. It's just weird looking.
Speaking of the movies, the Oscars were this weekend. Did you catch that?
I caught the last 3 awards of the night.
So the big winner was Parasite.
Yes, the foreign film.
South Korean subtitled movie.
So they win the title for best movie in the world?
Yes.
They're from South Korea. They beat all the other ones.
Yes.
Fair playing field.
I've never watched a subtitled movie. I've tried. I tried with one, maybe Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
That's not true. When you have Pornhub on mute, it puts the words on the bottom. Come on. I haven't seen any of the movies that were nominated for any. Oh no, I saw The Joker on
Was that
to
good?
Vegas. It was good. I mean, it was kind of dark and gloomy. He kills De Niro at the end, which
Oh, you just ruined it for me.
nah. I mean, you know it's going to happen.
No, I didn't. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, yeah, it's all right.
I saw
sorry.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
How was that? I'd like to see that. How was
It's
that?
good. It's good. It's one of those movies. It's obviously a Tarantino movie, so it's really sort of odd, and it's particularly this movie. There's massive scenes where you wonder what the relevance of them are. I think it's one of those ones where you have to watch it a second and third time to connect the dots.
Put it
But
all
it was good. It
together.
was watchable. The good performances, and it was interesting. And to be honest, the last 20 minutes of the movie, fantastic. The first hour and a half,
How
I was
into
along for the ride.
So again, I haven't seen how into the Manson murders does
Sharon
it get,
Tate?
or is that just like a
No, it's-
side story?
It's a side story for the first hour and a half.
Okay,
I don't want to ruin it for the little ones
all right.
out there.
So, is
De Niro
is someone
dies.
playing
Okay.
Charles Manson in the
Yep.
movie
But you
he's
just kind of see him
in the background?
He has maybe 2 lines or something.
Okay, cool. Brad Pitt, DiCaprio. These guys don't really make bad movies. You know, there's a point now they kind
Oh,
of
by
pick
the
and
way,
choose.
I have an interesting story about DiCaprio.
Is that right?
One of our work associates, significant other, is his financial advisor. He has a bunch of art. He has like something like $300 million worth of artwork, whatever.
Wow.
But here's the interesting part. Every time he hooks up with a girl, he gets them to sign a disclosure on the front end.
A little Derek Jeter waiver. Mm-hmm. I think Jeter used to give him a gift basket.
Did he?
An
Nice.
autographed batting glove or something.
Yeah, it makes sense, though.
For sure.
You want this? Sign this, baby.
You see, Baker Mayfield is in a little bit of trouble now. Apparently
He's a tool bag.
Well, for sure, but he obviously didn't have anyone sign anything. And he also met him in the parking lot behind the Cheesecake Factory, which is probably not the best spot for stuff like that to go down. But, yeah, he's a tool. Valentine's Day tomorrow, Edward. I know it's your favorite holiday.
You know I'm an old romantic.
Yep. What's the Valentine's Day plan?
Well, actually, tonight I'm going to a Valentine's cooking class with my beautiful wife.
What are you going to cook?
Don't know yet. It's on the Big Green Egg. I'm a big green egg fan. It's actually a cult. Not a lot of people know about the Big Green Egg, but as soon as they do, they love them.
They're in.
So they're going to teach us how to cook stuff on the Big Green Egg. And apparently it's Valentine themed. You get wine pairings. It's going to be all very civilized.
Very nice. You know what we're doing in my house for Valentine's Day?
What's that?
My wife went to California for a week. No, we went out to dinner the other night.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
That's
Michael.
true. That is true. So no, we had a nice Valentine's dinner last weekend. Also had my first ever daddy-daughter Valentine's dance last week, which was a lot of fun.
Is that the first time you've gotten a girl to dance with you?
I dance more with my 6-year-old daughter than I have in the previous 39 years of my life combined.
Yeah, you're not much of a dancer, are you? Neither am I.
No.
Well, that's not true. I used to cut some moves back in the day in the nightclubs.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
I can't
go
picture
to
that.
That's the standard procedure. Go to the pub. Pub closes at midnight. Head to the club.
Okay.
Keep it going.
I used to. I went through a phase in college because I didn't like dancing. I didn't enjoy it, so I'd drink enough, and then I would call it dumb dancing, and I would just go out onto the dance floor with whoever I was with.
Oh, I thought I got confused. I thought you were talking about a different phase that you went through in college.
Nope, wrong guy. And then we just go out and joke around.
That's what he said.
And that was always fun.
Anywho.
Let's see, what else we talk about? Oh, so, man is out of town.
Okay.
2 kids. Me for the week. Right. Cupcake. No big deal.
You got this, Mike.
Got it. Freaking got it. Right.
You're an adult.
Yeah, I'm a grown up, right? So yesterday was day 1, morning 1. Kids were up, and dog was walked, and they were dressed, and
Things
hair
were
was
happening.
brushed, right? And they were at the school at 7:12 a.m., which is a good 30 minutes before they've been there all year long, right?
Yeah, you're ahead of the game.
And I get to the office. I'm early. I know I went to
Proud of
breakfast with the AT&T yesterday. I was like, I'm freaking getting things
You had
done.
you had breakfast with AT&T?
AT&T, yeah.
Must have been a big table.
It was a huge table, 100 years old. I'm feeling like $1 million. And then around lunchtime, I get a call from my wife, who's in California working, and she'd gotten a phone call from my son's teacher, and apparently he lost his freaking mind because the class got in trouble at lunch, and they weren't allowed to go to recess. He lost his mind to the point where it was important enough for the teacher to call my wife. And, hello, what's up? What happened this morning? Nah, this morning was great. I get to school early. No, Mikey's teacher just called me, and of course, it's my fault.
Of course it is. You're in charge. It's not a coincidence, Mike.
So
it all unravels when Amanda leaves.
Well, I'm
with you on this
teaching
one,
Mikey
Amanda.
accountability, and so he wrote 5 letters of apology yesterday. He wrote a letter of apology to his teacher for losing his shit and being disrespectful. Made him write a letter of apology to the cafeteria monitor, who was the first one who reported the trouble. made him write a letter of apology to his sister because the only thing she wants to ever do is play with her brother, and he got in trouble and had to be in his room all night. I made him write a letter of apology to Amanda for bothering her at work, and I made him write a letter to God because I figured, if he's not accountable to any of the rest of us, at least maybe think about the man upstairs and go, what did you learn from this? So I don't know if that's good parenting. If you have any feedback, not you, but anybody who's qualified, let me know.
Well, I think if he needs practice writing, there's
Yeah.
definitely some benefit there.
Well, I made him do each of them 3 times. I'd correct him and say, write it again now. So,
Hey, you know
daddy
this, Mike?
daycare.
Success comes from making good decisions. Good decisions come from experience, and experience come from making bad decisions.
Sinatra or Dean Martin said that, I think.
We did.
I don't know. I saw it online.
You ever
So I
see
saw-
that?
It was a meme. I saw it online.
What was that? What was that story about Dean Martin's cocktail and Frank Sinatra's recipe?
It was
Remember?
Frank Sinatra's. So Dean Martin had a great recipe for hamburgers, right? And he'd heat the frying pan up to this temperature, and then at the end he would pour a glass of bourbon and then let it cook for 6 minutes or whatever. And then it was Frank Sinatra's hamburger recipe. It was call Dino, tell him you're coming over for hamburgers, drink his bourbon.
Solid.
Very good. So I saw that online. So you don't have the Instagram, but I have it, and it's got like funny stuff like that people post jokes, whatever. But there's also Bob Menery, who you turned me on to. He's he's got the voice.
He's doing the Buffalo Wild Wings
He's doing
commercials.
Buffalo
now.
Wild
He's big
Wings
time.
commercials, which means he's got to be making plenty of cash.
Oh, yeah.
But he does the voiceovers for sporting events, and apparently the PGA Tour is coming after him. They're saying they don't want him to do that anymore. Have you seen any of this stuff?
Yeah, I had heard that. I bet you don't know this. There's a rival PGA Tour. Well, won't be PGA. There's a rival golf tour in the works, and they've been talking to Tiger. He's interested. All the big dogs. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes down. You actually mentioned something interesting about the XFL and the NFL.
Yeah,
I think we should do this.
oh.
We're going to be in charge of this, Mike.
This is a brilliant idea. The XFL, by all measures, they had a very successful opening weekend.
How many people are showing up to the games?
From what I saw on TV, it looked pretty good. I don't have a number, but they're not playing in stadiums as big as NFL stadiums. But there was a good turnout, I think, in the 4 games that they had this weekend. And the football was exciting.
People
feel like
can't
you were
get
watching
enough
morons. Yeah. So it was good. They got decent players. Cardell Jones went to Ohio State. He's a quarterback. He had a great game.
Aaron Murray, I think, is one of the quarterbacks.
It's possible, yeah. So I read something yesterday. It said,
they're not that good.
These are some things, some rules that they have that the NFL should think about adopting.
Can you
and there's so there's no extra points. You can either go for 1 point from the 2, you can go for 2 points from the 5, or you can go for 5 points from the 10 after a touchdown, something like that. And then kickoff rules are different, but the person who wrote the little article said, I think that the best team in the XFL, so they're not the world champions, they're the XFL champions. So whoever wins the XFL should play the worst team in the NFL every year, and whoever wins goes to the NFL, and whoever loses goes to the XFL.
I'd watch it.
It's brilliant. Yeah, I think it would be the 3rd most popular football game in the country. You'd have the Super Bowl, you'd have the College National Championship game, and then you'd have the XFL Bowl or whatever the hell you want to call that. But that would be exciting to watch. Baker could go get BJ's behind, the stadium as an XFL quarterback instead of a NFL quarterback. I think it'd be very interesting.
BJ? I didn't
Yeah.
hear the details.
Yeah. Apparently, that's it's got a couple of them coming out of the woodwork now, but that's what they're saying. Yeah.
Huh.
So, sucks for Baker, but get what you deserve.
Yeah.
Anyhow, what else? What else you got on your list? I want to make sure we dot all of our I's and cross all of our T's before we sign off for the week.
You know what? I had an interesting conversation with a, I guess now ex-employee this week, and well, first of all, let's start with they called in sick on day 3.
Who does that?
20% of people probably.
It amazes me people who quit a job after one day. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't even really know how to get to the building yet.
Right. So anyway, day 3 called in sick. So I called the person just kind of with the intention of, maybe this isn't going to work out. And the big hang-up was wear and tear on my car. You know, and obviously this is stuff we go over with them on the front end. What happens if my brakes go out? Well, to be fair, that's interest. You know, it's there's a big difference between somebody who shows up on day one with a car that needs new brakes and somebody that has a brand new car. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it got me thinking. Not that hard.
That's always a dangerous thing.
Yeah, but you know, what's better, Mike? Should you go the corporate route where everything's taken care of and it's safe, or should you go the entrepreneurial route where you're betting on yourself and it's risk reward? It's actually a rhetorical question.
I think it depends on the individual, though. You know, I think that a lot of people don't function well when there's structure and when there's someone dictating to them what they need to do and when they need to do it. Those people, if they've got some work ethic, should probably do something on their own. Then I think that there's a lot of people who need that guidance and management and whatever they have inside of them that is preventing them from.
You're getting deep here, Mike.
I know, I am. Well, so my son losing his cool yesterday at school because people were being too loud. He's got something inside of him that made him lose his mind in the cafeteria yesterday, right? Well, there's other things that are inside of other people that may prevent them from doing well in certain, ventures. So I think it's important for someone to be honest with themselves about what they want and what they are capable of handling and what they're capable of doing, and then individually make that decision. Okay. It sucks when someone says that they want one, but they aren't willing to do what's required, right? If I said I want to be the CEO of Best Buy, well, then I've got to be willing to put up with all the shit that it takes to climb that corporate ladder to ultimately someday be the CEO of Best Buy.
Do you still have to wear a Best Buy shirt once you're the CEO?
And they take $16 out of your first paycheck to cover each of them.
Do you know what I think?
What?
I think this is America, Michael. Land of opportunity.
Yeah.
It is the free market.
True.
Merit-based.
It is.
I think whatever you put in, you get out.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I think.
I mean,
you want a lot, you got to put your money where your mouth is, baby.
I 100% agree. And that's my point. People can't put their money where their mouth is, so they should go do something else.
The interesting thing for me is when people say, well, commission scares me. Everything's commission. Yep. Okay. I can give you a salary and then I give you a quota. Or not even. I just give you a salary and I give you a list.
You have to do.
Yeah, a list of tasks.
Yeah.
If you don't do them, we let you go.
Job. Yep.
Hey, there's a quote that I like. And I may have mentioned this before, but I like it so much I may say it again. Working for a large corporation is like riding on a train.
I heard this, yeah.
I probably told you. Are you going 100 miles an hour? Or is the train going 100 miles an hour and you're sitting still? It's deep.
You got deep. Yeah, that's deeper than what I was saying. I mean, I was saying people got to figure out what they're capable of doing and then do it. I'm not capable of dunking a basketball, so I'm not going to play in the NBA.
You know what I say, Michael? I say, if you are able-bodied, able-minded, this is fucking America!
The able-minded part is the challenge.
It's America!
It is.
You can come over here from another country with 13 goddamn cents in your pocket, not even speak the fucking language, and be a multi-millionaire! But anyway, I don't feel that strongly about it.
No. Passing. Hey, that's
It's like you came over from Italy.
Today I did, because Yanine said I look Italian when I wear black.
You look like a mix between an Italian, Johnny Cash, and a gigolo.
was hoping for Pitbull. Where's Pitbull at?
Hey, where is Pitbull? I haven't seen him for a while.
I
think I saw him in a T-Mobile commercial recently. But that's all
I think it's Boost Mobile. Yeah, I don't think or Cricket or something. I don't know that he's at T-Mobile yet.
I just thought of a funny story.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it has to do with the Pitbull, vaguely. So I was playing golf with a guy. And he was a friend of my friend. He lived in New York City. And as he did pretty well, finance guy, whatever. He lived in the same building as Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
The actor.
Yeah, Kansas guy.
This is fucking great. So anyway, for 6 months, he'd kind of like seen Paul Rudd like from afar and you know, spoke to the concierge and, you know, everyone knew Paul Rudd lived in the building, but he was always in LA, whatever, gone.
Working.
And he said, I'm playing golf with him. And he goes, yeah, it's such a silly little story, but I think it's great. So he said, he had a pit bull, new pit bull or whatever, and he needed to take the dog out for a pee. Here we are, back again, at like midnight. So he gets in the elevator with his dog, goes down, goes out, dog pees, whatever, gets back in the elevator, and as the elevator's closing, Paul Rudd like runs in and gets in there. So now it's just him and Paul Rudd in the elevator, and Paul Rudd goes, hello. And this guy goes, hey, how are you? And then Paul Rudd goes, that's a nice dog. And and then the guy goes, how old do you think the dog is? Because he's just nervous, he didn't know what to say. And Paul Rudd goes, I don't know. 5? And he goes, no, 3. And then Paul Rudd got out. That was it.
You met any celebrities? That might be interesting.
Yeah, I've met some celebrities along the way. I mean, I met Jack Nicklaus, had a nice conversation with him.
Okay.
A lot of people think I'm talking about Jack Nicholson. I'm talking about Jack Nicklaus, the golfer,
not the Joker.
Golden Bear. Who else have I met? I mean, some Atlanta guys, John Schmaltz.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I interviewed John Smoltz's son.
Greg, I should say Greg Maddox. No, Greg Maddox.
Budweiser's stronger than Natural Light. He's off his game today.
Tom Glavine. Played golf with Tom Glavine one time.
Good.
I met Jerome Bettis, the bus.
Yeah.
A couple of times. I actually hit golf balls on the range with him maybe a year ago. Nice guy. What about you? You met any celebs there, Michael?
So I'm going to be coaching Little League baseball for Vivian. I'm the assistant coach. The head coach, the season hasn't started yet, so I haven't met him yet, but the head coach is Greg Maddox. So I'm hoping it's the same guy. Ah. I don't know. I'll find out next week. We get first practice. I'll say.
So my old golf coach, interim golf coach at Berry College, his name was Coach Schartzer, Steve Schartzer, played pro ball, and he was really the baseball coach, but our golf coach, I think, got kicked out my junior year of college. So he was the interim for 1 year. Didn't really know anything about golf, but he was like, hell, guys, it ain't that difficult. You guys just go out there and we'll just pick the guys with the lowest scores. And that's pretty much it.
Sounds like a buddy of mine in Nashville.
But anyway, he was friends with Greg Maddox, and Greg Maddox invited him to one of the games, gave him like the hookup. He was down in, the dugout. Not really in the dugout, but kind of in the player area. And Greg Maddox was pitching that night, and he said he's good buddies with him. And as the beginning of the game is starting, he's like down there by the field kind of thing, my coach, Coach Schartzer. And Greg Maddox comes walking out to the field, and he was like, hey, Greg. And he said that Greg Maddox just looked at him with like the most evil stare ever, like, it's fucking game time right now. Like, you don't talk to me right now. I am in the zone. Anyway.
Man, Maddox was
not that interesting, but
yeah. We came very close to meeting John Bon Jovi one time. Right? That was great.
What a great story. So here's the story. My brother-in-law used to live in a house right next to Piedmont Park, and me and my wife were living in a condo in Midtown, and he texted. I think he called my wife and said, normally I wouldn't go out of my way to go see John Bon Jovi in concert, but when he's playing in your backyard, you probably should go. And so, long story short, the CEO of Cumulus
Radio, yep.
it was like his 50th or 60th birthday, and there was about 250 people at the Park Tavern bar.
Yeah, down the little patio.
Yeah.
Down below, yep.
For this guy's birthday, and they had an all-star lineup of which Bon Jovi was the headliner.
Yep.
So I called you, I think. And
Yeah,
said,
I think it was in Atlanta for the weekend. It's my birthday. It was my 27th birthday, I think.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, hey, Palumbo, you want to go sit on a deck chair on the grass in the park and listen to John Bon Jovi? And you're like, sure. So we got to Park Tavern, had a little metal fence around.
Yeah, we sat out in the park for a good hour or so, drinking beer out of a cooler.
Right. Just, listening. And then there was security there, obviously. And you can tell the rest of the story because it's a bit fuzzy.
After the cooler of beer.
Yeah.
So we there was a gap in the fence. And so we walked up to the fence and we're standing there, and they're about ready to announce John Bon Jovi coming out. And so everyone's looking at the stage, and I think I looked at Ed and I said, well, who's really going to stop us from going through this hole in the fence right now? And the answer was nobody. And so we did. We walked in.
You missed a vital part of the story.
Okay, we'll tell the vital part, because maybe I was a little fuzzy also.
The vital part was my wife, Kelly, maybe not my wife at the time.
No, she definitely wasn't.
She looked back at us and didn't say a word, and she jumped over the fence and then just ran through the venue. And when she did that, the security people all followed her. She just ran all the way through, out the front door, out again.
Oh, so
but they all followed her, and then we jumped the fence.
And then we went in,
and we were in.
We didn't jump it. We walked through it.
Well, whatever we
did.
slid
right through. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but it was wonderful.
In. And then we were in, and then we gate crashed.
Yeah, 6 feet away from John Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
You walk up to the bar, gin and tonic, and some of the sushi. Yeah.
There's a picture of me that you took. I'm eating a prawn, like a prawn cocktail.
Yeah.
And John Bon Jovi's about 4 feet behind me.
Yeah.
Doing his thing.
Happy birthday.
What do you think John Bon Jovi's doing right now?
Whatever he wants. Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of hair, that son of a bitch. Mm-hmm. But so, he wears...
Don't hate Mike.
He wears like the same kind of sneakers my grandpa used to wear when he performs. He wears sneakers. I think that's odd.
Well, it's probably good for your feet. Hey, here's a fun fact. Kelly's friend, Lisa, used to date the lead singer of Counting Crows, Adam whatever.
The hair.
He's Jewish.
Okay.
But you didn't know. Well, maybe you did know that.
No, I did not know that.
The hair.
His hair. That guy.
The dreads.
Yeah.
Clip on.
Really?
Yeah, clip on dreads. He
fucking way.
He used to unclip them and put them next to the bed on the nightstand. Huh? Now you know.
Wow.
Hey.
It's been a bit of a longer episode. A bit of a longer episode than normal, but worth the payoff at the end. Who would have fucking guessed that? Mr. Jones and me. Yep, clip on.
Mr. Jones and me.
Fraud. What a fraud.
I went to a Counting Crows concert in Athens, Georgia, my freshman year of college, with a Swedish girl who was on the track and field team at Bury.
Yeah.
And this is actually a very harrowing story at the time, but she was, very attractive, obviously, because, and on the way back from the concert in Athens, she says, do you know in Sweden, we say, when we say, would you like to come back for a cup of tea? We really mean, would you like to have sex? Right? So I'm like, all right, noted. And we get back to Bury College, get back to the girls' dorms, which I was forbidden to go in.
Yes.
And she said, would you like a cup of tea? And I was like, absolutely. And we go into her dorm room. So I'm like, all right, showtime. And then she literally makes a cup of tea. So I'm like, all right, I'll play along. I'll have one too. And then, I was like, all right. And then she asked me to leave. So I remember walking back to the boys' dorm, just kind of scratching my head, like, how did I play? Did I play those cards wrong?
I don't know.
Anyway,
how was the tea?
It was all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I drank tens of thousands of cups of tea. I think that particular cup of tea was probably really good at the time because I was like, all right, let's finish this little cup up, keep it moving. And then I moved it back to my dorm room.
Wild.
Anyway.
Hey, I tell you, it's funny.
It wasn't funny.
But it is funny because it's true.
It's only funny because it's true, mate. Till the next time, my friend.